Ivan's childhood, Ivan's childhood. This song would be better if I had more syllables to work with. Oh well, I got through it anyway. Seriously, I'm lost. Hello there, CriterioNate here, number 397, Andrei Tarkovsky's Ivan's Childhood, or Ivanovo Detstvo. That works. 1962, 95 minutes, black and white, normal Russian, 1, 2, 3, 1. Once again, it's Tarkovsky. Once again, it's another movie that's really weird. It's nowhere near as long as Rublev. Oh, it doesn't have the length of Rublev, but it has the what the hell's going on of Rublev. I'll give you that. This was his first film, although the movie's called Ivan's Childhood. However, when it was released in the U.S., it was given the name of My Name is Ivan, which I can't. That's a horrendous title. I guess Ivan's Childhood is probably a more general, like a straightforward translation than My Name is Ivan. And I'm just looking. Oh, but yeah, he also did Solaris. I forgot about Solaris. That one was confusing too. But I know there's more. Oh yeah, and The Killers. Yeah, The Killers too. Yeah, so, but this is this is our last Tarkovsky too. Huh. How weird. Anyway, I knew he did Rublev, and I was like, there were others, weren't there? He had Solaris and The Killers, yeah. So anyway, Ivan's Childhood. Very weird movie. It's a very anti-war film. It's basically about this little young boy named Ivan who fights in the war. I think in World War II to avenge his family's death. They were all killed in the war, and I guess he became an orphan, and they sent him off to military school or something. But he broke away, and so he ended up fighting on the front lines. And the soldiers liked him because he's really small, so they send him into like reconnaissance missions, and that's basically it. We get a lot of flashbacks of Ivan when he was, before the war, if his family was alive and all that, and that's all I have to say. Again, this is Tarkovsky. Definitely, I don't know if it was that he was confusing. It's just that he really loved to play with timelines. He loved to just play with timelines and the way a story is told. He told stories differently, much more in a different way than other people did. And I guess that was his bag. His bag was making the viewer work for realization, or I don't know. That being said, because of that, I don't really have a fond opinion of this movie. It's not bad. It's not a bad movie. I think probably my favorite scene was, sadly at the end of the movie, the soldiers, most of the soldiers, the captain's been killed, and the soldiers are going through these files of these young children who were killed, or either shot or hung, and they come across Ivan's file, and it says that he was hung, and they're just kind of like passing through them, and then they drop Ivan's file down this hole, and then the soldier leaps down into it and grabs it, and like they stare at it, and they're just shuddering. And there's almost this moment of like where you could see them shudder, and it's like, they knew what happened to him, and yeah, it's a really sad movie. But that's basically all I got, So anyway, Ivan's Childhood. Again, it's not my favorite Tarkovsky movie. I think Andrei Rublev is still my favorite of the 4 movies we've seen. I'd say probably Ivan's Childhood, probably this, and then this, and then The Killers, and then Solaris. So this isn't too bad, but I think Andrei Rublev is the best of them all. That being said, B. I got lost. Getting lost doesn't help, and it was kind of tricky jumping between the things. I'm sure with a second viewing I'd get I'd understand it more. There's a whole other side story that I didn't understand with this nurse named Mosha. I guess they were writing songs about her or singing songs about her or something. That was really distracting too. And I'm not sure. I think Tarkovsky even said that he wasn't fond of certain things he did in this movie. It was his first, his first feature, directorial debut, for feature-length film, for theatrical debut. So, maybe there were things that he wishes he could have gone back and done. So, give him room, give him margin for error, But the question is, what would he have fixed? What would he have fixed, and would it have raised my grade of it? I don't know. We'll never know. Anyway, Ivan's Childhood B, still not bad, but not the greatest. Supplements, video appreciation of Andre Dubov, called, I forget the name of it. Vita T. Johnson, who wrote a book about Tarkovsky. There's an interview with Nikolai Berlayev, who played Ivan, and the cinematographer Vadim Yuzov, and that's it. So interesting stuff. B, especially if you're Ivan's Childhood, especially if you're into Russian wartime films. Here you go, involving children fighting in the war and eventually dying. So that's it for today. Tomorrow, Cocteau and Melville. Oh boy. Les Enfants Terribles. Goodness gracious. This is not going to go well, I'm sure. And then I may try and I got to talk to Joe about when our Filmstruck account expires, because I may have to do. Well, actually, no. I got House of Leaves is coming, and not House of Leaves. That's a great book. House of Games. House of Games is on its way. I ordered the non-Criterion edition of the DVD. I'm hoping that comes by next week, and I'll maybe just do the movie, and then I will, hopefully get the supplements eventually and do the supplements later, and then after that I'll do Stranger in Paradise. And then but between those movies, between Les Enfants Terribles and House of Games, hope to get the Eclipser back in one more time, and we'll do the first films of Samuel Fuller. I shot Jesse James, Baron of Arizona, and Steel Helmet. So anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching. I don't know. Leave Mosha alone, I guess. I don't know. I'm really lost. And be careful if you're a young boy named Ivan fighting in World War II. Be careful, because you'll get hung eventually, I guess. Anyway, that's it for me. Thank you for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow for Les Enfants Terribles. And until then, goodbye.